Thanks for joining me on Life in Surround. I would like to briefly discuss with you a Blu-ray audio that I've been meaning to listen to for quite some time. I acquired it sometime late last year and I'm only getting around to it now. It's Prince and the new power generation, Diamonds and Pearls, which you know from reading the description of this video. But anyway, the version I have is a single Blu-ray audio in a digipack. The Blu-ray comes with the album mixed in Atmos and rendered to you in high resolution stereo. I would assume that's the 1991 mix. I apologize, I just didn't research that. But the Atmos mix is from 2023. So a 1991 album by Prince. I would have been at just the very earliest stages of forming my musical identity at that time. I was mainly into hard rock at the time. I was aware of Prince, but I definitely didn't become a fan. I have actually gained most of my appreciation for Prince just in the last few years, actually. Of the 7 singles from this album, I am really familiar with 2, the title track and Get Off, and really am mainly unfamiliar with the other 5. I may have heard 1 or 2 of them a time or 2, but, so this album pretty much passed me by, not completely. I did catch a couple of the singles. So I don't have a lot of nostalgia to this album, and I don't have a great sense for exactly how it ought to sound, like, original pressing on a vintage stereo from the time, like, what that sound, should be. So providing the Atmos mix, we have Chris James, who, as a multi-channel engineer, is pretty much new to me. This is the first that I've dug into a release and found him to be the Atmos engineer. He doesn't seem to have a prolific career in mixing yet, but he does have quite a bit of experience with Prince material. From his discography, it looks like about at least a half dozen different projects to me. So, fair bit of experience and definitely familiarity with Prince. I've read some criticism that his Atmos mixes are most effective here on the album tracks and are less effective on the singles, to the disappointment of some who are more familiar with the original record than I am. So for my casual listen through to the entire album, I really enjoyed it. Nothing stood out to me seeming like a mistake or unenjoyable. I really did enjoy my experience. There's plenty going on in the surround field and like up in the heights, that 2D and that 3D space of your room. Like there's some playful moments where a certain part goes like panning actively around the room, and then there's just some good immersion and some great separation of parts. That's one thing that I did read from some other reviewers, that they are hearing things like uncovered from the original mix, where 2 channels, you are condensing all this information, all of these performances and all these sounds down to 2 channels, and some stuff is going to get buried. And so the Atmos mix seems to some to be revelatory. So could be very, very cool, depending on whether you are in touch with the original album or if you're new to it. Um, I think it could be a rewarding experience either way. Now, be aware, even though I have like the Digipack single Blu-ray version, deluxe version of this revisiting of the album exists. It's quite a bit more expensive. It comes with a Blu-ray, but with completely different content. It features some live content, which does happen to be mixed into Atmos in some cases, but I just can't vouch for how exciting those live mixes may or may not be. My guess would be not exciting. And notably, the Blu-ray included in the set does not feature the album mixed into Atmos. So for that, you need the standalone. But really, I think, if you're happy with a high resolution stereo version of the album and then like a new Atmos, Blu-ray quality version of the album, You know, this thing is available all over the place. Deep discounts, import CDs, SDE shop. I think that's where I got it from, SDE shop. But I mean, it's at Walmart, like it's all over the place. Okay, so we're talking about an in-print, commercially available Blu-ray audio from a major star. This album, 7 singles. It definitely is plenty catchy, and it's got a variety of different approaches to songs, all the way from like pretty classic, like kind of like a 60s R&B sound, and then just also thoroughly modern for its time, you know, sounds, and all points in between. This is a really cool record. And I believe the Atmos mix is serviceable, and I do understand some criticism where it could have been improved here or there. So, and then, you know, for the mastering, we have Brad Blackwood, and this guy has a very extensive discography, like I think over 600 mastering credits. And kudos to him. We have someone who definitely has worked in the Christian music industry, because I recognize some of these groups, like, you know, Satellite Soul. You know, I never thought I would like see a credit for Satellite Soul, you know, from Life and Surround Research, but you know, and he's also worked with Prince material before. So, I guess I agree with some criticism I read that this is mastered maybe a little tiny bit on the bright side, but it works for me, and I could handle the album being a tiny bit less bright compared to stuff that I, you know, just love on my system. This is a little bit on the bright side. Not to the point where it ruins it for me. So musically, I would say this is somewhere near the top of Prince's game, but probably not like Prince at his pinnacle. So, you know, pretty darn good, you know, value there as far as I'm concerned. I think the mix is pretty good, with you know, possibly being like less than perfect, and like there could be some room to grow. And you know, if Chris James continues to do, you know, these Prince reissues, then you know, I think we could expect, you know, to get better and better mixes as we go. I think, you know, Prince is going to keep doing reissues, like before Diamonds and Pearls there was Welcome to America. So this is like a new, like a never before released album, and then it came with a Prince concert on Blu-ray. And I recommend getting this set like for that concert. It is a killer freaking show. And I apologize, I don't remember if it's in surround or stereo. I think it actually is a stereo only, or if there is a surround soundtrack, it was unremarkable, you know, just crowd around you. But such a great performance. And that show, that Blu-ray concert, the Blu-ray concert that comes in here, it's really it opened my eyes to the talent of Prince. It is really a remarkable, amazing show. And I hear that he got way better than this live. And if that's the case, man, what a genius. What a master. What a master of his craft. So pretty well mixed, pretty well mastered, pretty good material. I would say this is like maybe about a 7 out of 10, and it may just absolutely check all your boxes. It may be absolute perfection for some of you out there, and there may be those of you who accept it less well than I do, and like those of you who are kind of right where I'm at. It's enjoyable, and I hope that the Prince team keep rolling out these reissues, and that we get Atmos on Blu-ray of Prince material. Very cool stuff. And even like a standalone version. So I mean, it's like it doesn't get better than that for me. Blu-ray audio affordably. It's just like chef's kiss. Okay, so thank you very much, Prince estate, you know, the Prince team, for putting out Diamonds and Pearls on Blu-ray audio, and for having it mixed into Atmos. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. And for all of you watching, thank you for watching. If you like what I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave your comments below about this release or about prints or about what you want to see from this channel, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And until next time, just live life in surround.